The echo of the cosmos. In the darkened hallway of the ancient library in Alexandria, a forgotten manuscript lay hidden beneath layers of dust and time. The scroll was bound in cracked leather, yellowed with age, but its words were clear to the few who had deciphered them. Its pages spoke of the energy that flowed through everything, the unseen force that connected all things in the universe. They told of a forgotten time when humanity had known the truth, that the cosmos was alive, and its energy could be tapped to transmit knowledge. Chapter 1. The Signal. Dr. Lara Voss sat in her dimly lit office at the University of Athens, staring at the data spread out before her. It was a curious anomaly, an unexpected pattern that had begun to emerge across her research in astrophysics. The data came from the Kepler Space Telescope, an instrument designed to detect distant exoplanets. But something odd had caught her attention, an unusual, rhythmic pulse emanating from a particular point in deep space. The pulse wasn't a signal from a star or planet. It was something entirely different. It was as if the universe itself was communicating. The frequencies were so complex, they seemed to form patterns, but they didn't match any known celestial phenomenon. Lara was no stranger to patterns in space. She had spent years studying the way stars and galaxies interacted, searching for meaning in the silent expanse. But this was something different, something that made her feel like she was on the verge of a great discovery. With a mix of excitement and skepticism, she cross-referenced the signal with ancient star maps and mythologies. Her eyes widened as she discovered an eerie connection to the oldest known texts of several cultures. The Sumerians, the Egyptians, and the Mayans. All had described the heavens in ways that echoed this mysterious pulse, as if they were receiving knowledge from some higher source. Chapter 2. The Fragments. Lara's research led her to a hidden collection of ancient texts in the archives of the university. A set of scrolls that had been long forgotten, buried beneath centuries of history. The texts were from ancient civilizations that had once flourished along the banks of the Tigris and Euphrates, the Nile, and the Yucatan Peninsula. They spoke of the gods, yes, but they also described something else, a living force that flowed through the universe, connecting all things. In one passage, she found a description of a celestial being that was said to breathe life into the cosmos, its energy permeating the heavens and earth alike. The text described this energy as the breath of the gods, a force that shaped the stars, the planets, and the lives of those who inhabited the world below. And in the description of this energy, she found something even more unsettling, a description of a cycle, a continuous flow of energy. This was not just a metaphor. The text seemed to suggest that the energy itself was alive, capable of transmitting knowledge and wisdom to those who were attuned to it. It was as if the universe itself had a consciousness, a mind, that could communicate with those who were able to listen. As she read, Lara's heart raced. Could this be what she had been searching for all along? The pulse from space, the ancient texts, the strange patterns in the data. It all pointed to the same conclusion. There was a deep, cosmic intelligence embedded in the fabric of the universe, and it was far more profound than anything she had been taught in her academic career. Chapter 3. The Awakening. To the outside world, Dr. Voss was a respected scientist, but as her obsession with the cosmic pulse deepened, she became a pariah. Her colleagues dismissed her theories as wild speculation, a departure from the grounded principles of modern science. It's just noise, they told her, nothing more than random interference. But Lara couldn't shake the feeling that they were wrong, that the pulse, the patterns, were not random at all. They were a message. The energy that flowed through the universe was trying to communicate something to humanity. One night, alone in her lab, she turned her attention back to the signal. She had been analyzing it for weeks, trying to decode its structure, when something extraordinary happened. As she adjusted the frequency of her instruments, she felt a strange sensation in her body. It was as if a wave of energy had passed through her. It wasn't physical. She didn't feel it in her muscles, but she felt it all the same, like a distant voice calling out to her. She sat back, her mind racing. Was this the energy she had been reading about in the ancient texts? Could it be that the cosmic energy was somehow reaching out, communicating with her? Chapter 4. The Cosmic Web. The more Lara explored the signal, the more she realized that it wasn't just a message from space. It was a message from within the very fabric of existence itself. She began to piece together a theory, a radical, almost impossible theory, That energy wasn't merely a physical force, but a living, conscious entity capable of transmitting knowledge across the universe. It was a theory that would shatter everything she knew about science. But as the data poured in, and as her own experiences deepened, she realized that the universe might not be as lifeless as she had once believed. Instead, it might be a vast, interconnected web of living energy, a consciousness that spanned the cosmos, transmitting knowledge to those who could attune themselves to it. Lara's breakthrough came when she discovered a connection between the energy pulse and the ancient maps of the stars. The Mayans, with their sophisticated understanding of the cosmos, had recorded a pattern, a rhythm to the flow of celestial energy. The Egyptians, too, had spoken of a celestial mind, a force that governed both the heavens and the earth. The Babylonians had mapped the heavens, and their records suggested they, too, were attuned to some cosmic energy field. Chapter 5. The Revelation. Lara knew she was on the verge of something monumental, something that could change humanity's understanding of the universe forever. But the deeper she delved into her research, the more resistance she faced. Her colleagues mocked her theories, calling them pseudoscience. Her university's board of directors warned her that she was jeopardizing her career. Even her closest friends began to distance themselves, unable to accept that the energy she was studying could be more than a physical phenomenon. But Lara could no longer ignore what she had experienced. The energy pulse, the way it resonated with her, was undeniable. She began to experiment with different frequencies, using herself as a sort of human antenna, and something remarkable began to happen. She started receiving visions, fleeting glimpses of other times and places. She saw ancient civilizations thriving in harmony with the energy that flowed through the universe. She saw them building great monuments, not just to honor their gods, but to attune themselves to the cosmic energy that connected all things. In one vision, she saw the rings of Saturn, not as a distant astronomical object, but as part of a vast energy system. Chapter 6. The Cosmic Resonance. As Lara's understanding deepened, so too did her connection with the energy that flowed through the universe. She realized that this energy was not simply a passive force. It was alive, conscious, and capable of transmitting knowledge. The ancient texts had been right all along. The energy that flowed through the cosmos could be tapped, and those who attuned themselves to it could receive wisdom. Lara's discovery led her to a new understanding of the universe, not as a collection of isolated objects, but as a living, interconnected whole. The energy that flowed through everything was part of a vast cosmic intelligence. It was a force that could not be measured in the usual ways, but which could be felt and experienced through intuition, meditation, and deep connection with the natural world. And as she shared her findings with the world, Lara knew that humanity stood on the brink of a new era. Epilogue. A new dawn. The world slowly began to change. People began to look at the stars differently. They began to attune themselves to the energy that flowed through the universe, recognizing that it was not just a physical force but a conscious, living entity that could transmit knowledge and wisdom. And as humanity embraced this new understanding, they realized that the ancient civilizations were not just myth-makers or superstitious fools. They were, in fact, the first to grasp the truth, that the cosmos was alive, and that the energy that flowed through it was the key to understanding not just the universe, but the very essence of existence itself. The cosmic resonance had always been there, waiting to be heard. And now, humanity was finally listening.